Hello and welcome. Thank you for being with me today. I want to share 4 very powerful things we can do right now in an instant if you're feeling lonely. Things that we can do just to stop those feelings grabbing hold and that we can take and build on, removing that empty feeling for the rest of the day. I want you to know that I love that we can share these things together on the same frequency together, vibrationally supporting each other, souls connected. So let's share this moment of support with each other right now. We know loneliness in all its forms can be so tiring, can't it? Energy zapping. It can be a constant feeling for some of us, can't it? An inner loneliness that sometimes never seems to fade. And so the next few minutes, I'm going to help you find some answers. We'll do this together. 4 really powerful but simple things we can do now to act on beating it. Here's the first question. A good place to start before our 4 big answers. How often do you feel lonely? I mean, everyone feels it once in a while, We all have different needs for company. Some need to be in the middle of noise all the time. Some like mostly quiet time. But yes, all of us feel, every now and then, lonely. But what do we do when the feeling persists? It's all the time. It's out of our control, more than we want, more than we can manage. If it's not nipped in the bud, loneliness can grow into something harmful to the rest of our mental health. So let's see what we can do now, together, today. These 4 big points are obvious, but when we're lonely and low, we don't always think about the root of the emotions. Loneliness, like all emotions, is a state of mind. Loneliness isn't simply that nobody is with us right now, or we don't know many people, or we're isolated in some other way. So, number 1, we must become friends with ourselves first. It doesn't matter how many people we know, friends, family, colleagues. We may have many, we may have none. It also doesn't matter how much money or possessions you have. Loneliness isn't all about being alone, feeling lonely when isolated for too long. It's how connected you feel internally. We all know that you can be surrounded by family or friends, and yet your feelings of loneliness still somehow follow you around. So, what do we do next? It's self-care in this instance that is extremely important. How we see ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, and how we look after ourselves. Honestly, deep down, loneliness can start inside when we neglect our own friendship. That empty feeling is very real. Ask yourself now, and honestly, when was the last time you were kind to yourself? You made time for yourself. You took a moment to relax, to wind down. And I don't mean an extra hour in bed on Sunday morning, or passing out in front of the TV after a long shift at work. Think about what you would say to a friend who is low, what advice you'd give them. Go and have a walk in nature for an hour. Smell the roses, have some you time, look at nature, listen to something as you walk, get that fresh air, wander around and have a daydream. Just your thoughts, all about you. No thoughts about work. Not about drama, just relaxation. Or jump in the bath. A billion bubbles, not a quick shower, but really relax with candles and scents. No screens, maybe just some soft music. Now I know instantly, we automatically have the excuse it's about finding the time or it's not possible, but you have to make it possible. Now you know for a fact, if someone calls you for help, you instantly make time for them. So making time for you has to be the new priority. You need to make that call to yourself. And then from there, make it not just about now. Make it regular time. Make it super regular. A hobby, a book, something silly, something adventurous, something chilled, but everything about you for that moment. Because when loneliness sprouts its ugly head, we need to look inside. See what that friend inside wants. See what that friend inside expects from us or needs from us. What does our soul say would calm us? What does our soul and inner being want to relieve some stress? So this is a very, very important root of where loneliness can come from when we're not looking after ourselves. That hole, that emptiness, is often the void that can be filled by loving ourselves, spending time with this inner friend, and enjoy spending time with this inner friend. Know that you have got your own back. Fill those voids with that love for your inner self. Trust me, you won't feel as lonely around others or on your own because you know how to calm and relieve yourself. Now, the next most powerful thing we can do when feeling lonely, number 2, is an extension of what we were just talking about, to show empathy and compassion for yourself. It's very important to be tender-hearted to yourself, and as you do, it becomes contagious, and the more you do it, the more you start working on erasing this lonely feeling. You know, those times when you just wish someone was there for you. When you're lonely, you just want that person to listen, understand you, show you some compassion, make it all about wishing you well. It feels good, doesn't it, when you get that compassion? A little compassion can go a very, very long way. You have that warmth from it, don't you? A smile. When you get a compliment, someone does you a favour, someone gives you their time or a listening ear, do you think then you feel less alone, more valued, more connected? I think so. I think you do. And you know, they will feel good too, seeing you smile again, knowing they lifted you a little. That makes them glow and smile too. So it works both ways. If you can see a way to bring that compassion to others as well and spread the love, even on a low day, that's a kickstart. That's a bounce off of their energy. You give someone else your time, a compliment, show them their value to you, make them glow and smile a moment. It's contagious. It's impossible not to feel that feeling back. It's impossible not to attract that feeling back and override a low feeling, become less lonely. This then is a kickstart that creates more options. When you thought you had none, you also have a social interaction moment. Maybe compassion found you a new friend in the making, a new habit to take into each day, a new hope, a new reward, feeling less lonely, knowing you've made someone else's day. The feel-good factor really does work in these instances. And if you have a moment now, just think of a time when it did for you for real. When you did something, how good you felt. And then from there, where your day ended up. You'll be surprised how often you actually do this. And it is so easy and simple to change the course and direction of lonely feelings. So maybe reach out to a family member or an old friend next time you feel lonely. Or a stranger. I know it's a big step, but push that compassion their way and feel it come back. Maybe try to volunteer, something you're passionate about. Maybe for other lonely people. Teach them this rewarding shifting feeling that you're learning now. Even a little support or a donate to charity, you can do that online without even seeing a face or speaking a word to anyone, but the warm glow is the same. So just have a moment now. Feel that warm glow. Feel how beautiful it is, how warm it is, isn't it? Think now about a time you've done that, or something you could do now, just to give yourself that warm, full feeling. And then we can look at number 3. Who are your crew? It's time now to find your tribe. Now don't be scared, don't be put off. Because remember, lonely is more than being physically alone. Sometimes we can't shake the loneliness, no matter where we are. You can be at a wedding for loved ones, a concert with thousands of people around you having their best day, a big fun noisy party with family and friends. But that hollow feeling remains. even constant communication with friends, colleagues, classmates, good people you get along well with, doesn't seem to fill the hole. When you're with people, you can't seem to feel the passions the way that they do, with the things they share. I mean, you don't tell them, of course. You wouldn't want to upset them. You care about them. This is your problem, right? Not theirs. But in amongst this, you still feel on the outside, the odd one out. It seems an impossible dark hole, but it really has a simple answer. They're probably not your crew, probably not your people. Have you thought about that? They are a crowd, but maybe not your crowd, ones who share your ideas and interests. Maybe have you thought you're trying to fit in with their stuff, but what you want is a crew to share your stuff, your interests and character and hopes. Because it really is important to surround ourselves with like-minded people who genuinely share the same interest, who love to discuss the things we value together and become tight as a friend in the process. And it can take time to find your tribe. You can't force it. It's not a magic trip. But you can take steps now with ease to begin the search. Just ask yourself, am I with the people that are right for me, or am I just trying to force the issue because I feel lonely? You can take steps now. Maybe join in an online community with interests similar to your own. It's an easy place to start, and not so daunting as walking through big new physical doors. And you can control it now too. You can choose the subject and the people you want, not just trying to fit in anywhere you can. Whatever the subject or topic, gaming, book clubs, hobby groups for cooking, travel, fashion, education, specific subjects for specific people that you specify. And from this new route form, maybe you'll find your tribe, but you will find a plan. You will find something of interest. You will find an inner confidence to feel that hollow loneliness. You feel that glow, it's exciting. It's an exciting new start. Can you think of a subject now that you could even show others your wisdom? Interesting, isn't it? So now, just have a think about that. Feel a glow, feel a bit of excitement about what is possible ahead as we move to number 4. It's not. We have to remember that perfection doesn't exist. Let me explain. When we're lonely, we say if only this and if only that. We imagine ourselves as the perfect socialite maybe. Here's me and my ideal group of friends, my amazing best friend. We do this and we do that. It's perfect. Look at us laugh and smile, and it's always sunny. And I have a friend for every occasion and blah 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 blah. Well, I don't want to rain on your parade, but you already know, don't you? Your imaginary friend isn't going to be as perfect as you dreamed. While I gave a light-hearted illustration, the Hollywood bright white teeth image, shopping bags in Rodeo Drive, being a perfectionist is a real thing. It's very hard on the soul and very hard on the emotion kind of thing. It's constant hard work and effort. It's actually considered that those with a high level of perfectionism are more at risk for depressive symptoms and, as dramatic as it sounds, suicide ideation. Such high demands or expectations on ourselves only create more feelings of alienation, isolation and loneliness, which then become more and more intense. And perfectionism can block socializing altogether. You look for the perfect friend and you can't find them anywhere. Dr. Brené Brown, an American author and professor, really knows his subject and applauds imperfections. Have a Google and see how this maybe molds you a little. Chronic loneliness may result from being a social perfectionist. Social perfectionism seems more common with lonely people than the non-lonely. Think of it this way. You're a lonely person. You think no one loves you and no one wants to be your friend. Well, maybe the problem is that you have put such impossible demands of perfection on love and friendship that the stakes are so high, no one could ever meet them. It's impossible to find these people, even in Hollywood. But simplify it and ask yourself, are you capable of making a friend? Of course you are, 100%. So don't let this irritating perfectionism get in the way of making a new friend or falling in love. People are imperfect with flaws. Not every social interaction is going to go well. Not every party is fun. Not everyone wants what you want. Not everyone can give you what you want. Some people are already in love. Some interactions can be awkward or odd or daft. But that's okay. And once we accept this, relationships can be less than smooth and often messy. So we can relax a little when it comes to making a new friend. That's an important approach. Take the pressure off. Take the intensity off yourself and the situation and the other person. If you think your perfectionism may be at the front of your mind, getting in the way of finding a friend, just relax and remind yourself there are people out there. They won't be perfect. And they will know you are not perfect. And flaws and all, you'll still love each other anyway. And maybe even be a little less lonely. So have a relax now. These are some very important tips we've covered just in these few minutes. Can you see some kind of plan forming? Someone is out there for you. Maybe even waiting for you. Waiting for you to be ready. You just have to look after yourself. Think about what you want from this new crew. Keep looking, stress-free looking, and I cannot stress enough to keep looking after yourself. So, now, relax. Breathe out all this hard work, all that energy. Breathe it out. Smile. Let's live in this moment, right now, feeling each other's energy. And relax. Really breathe all that out through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, when you're ready, a deep breath in through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. This was a really powerful moment we shared. Thank you. I'm very grateful to you for giving me your time now. The compassion we've just exchanged feels amazing, doesn't it? Warm. Feel that compassion now, from head to toe. Let's grow this energy for those others around us, to feel our companionship, the sense of community for everyone and anyone. And as we're helping ourselves, we can help each other, feeling we're not alone right now, okay? Not alone right now. That's it. Just breathe. In and out. And smile. And look after yourself today.